So let's carry on. So there's a question here, guys. What is the benefit of using Microsoft Exchange over all the open source email servers? Well, open source software, first of all, does not have proper support infrastructure. Second thing, they don't really have all the advanced features. So third thing, reliability. Suppose you're stuck with 20,000 mailboxes and there are 50 Exchange servers there. So how would you really get out of that? Is there some reliable support that can connect to you and get you out of a really big mess? So this is just like if we go for Linux and there is open source CentOS, and then there is their corporate version, which is Red Hat. Red Hat has and CentOS are both the same. It's just that Red Hat has proper support infrastructure mechanism as well, and they release patches when they are really needed. And so it's all about is somebody responsible? Is some corporate responsible for this product that is being released? If it's open source, well, it's the community responsible and nobody in particular to blame for if your whole data center goes down or your Exchange server with a very critical application that earns your company millions of dollars goes down. So who to blame now, or who to call for support? So that's where so Exchange server is just like that. It's first of all, it has Microsoft top support available. Second thing is that it has a lot of advanced features that open source software will not offer, and those are the features that we are really going to dig down deep into. So it has the proper backing, proper support, and plus its Exchange Online version. Why all the big companies, the governments, they all have that because of the advanced features of compliance and advanced features of security and high availability, redundancy. All those are there. If open source can compete or could compete with all this, yes, then go for open source. None of the big companies will go for open source when it comes to their messaging platform. And also, emailing is the backbone of the company's business. If it's put on a open source software for a big company, then definitely they're not following some security and compliance standards. So even other big companies won't even do business with our company if we have our messaging software as open source. So Exchange Server really is compliant with all the security standards that are supposed to be there, adopted by all the big companies, so they could get then, they could be taken seriously, basically. So yeah, there's a very big difference between open source and the proprietary software. Very big difference. Okay, so let's go ahead and we were talking about what we have done last time. So I'm just gonna quickly open that, and it's already there, uploaded there as well. So if we go to what we did last week, and that was we created template machine, right? And we created 3 clones from the template machine, and then we configured basic configurations in these clones. We installed Active Directory, DNS, DHCP, so infrastructure roles which are very critical. Without that, we can't survive, right? So we did that, and then we went for joining the 2 member servers to the domain controller. So overall, we had created 3 clones out of the template machine, and then we configured them all together. But then the first clone became the domain controller, and with DNS and DHCP and others were member servers. So that's what we did in last class. We also created a copy of the domain administrator account, and we're going to only use that copied domain administrator account that has equal privileges to domain administrator account or enterprise admin as well. So what we will do next. So obviously we need to install the Exchange server. We need to know the prerequisites of Exchange server, the best practices to install, what is supported, what is not supported for Exchange server 2016. And we obviously, it's a enterprise grade application, so that's why we have to be very careful what we do. So we will start server 1 and server 2 only. And so guys, even before starting server 1 and 2, we need to check out the RAM, because let's change the RAM of server 1 from 8 GB. Remember in last class we gave 8 GB RAM, so we're gonna give it 2 GB. Why? Because, well, the Active Directory, DNS, and DHCP does not take that much RAM for its own running, and we can just spare that. Well, the spare RAM we can give to the Exchange server machine for now, and later machines. So we will have two Exchange servers later. So let's change the RAM for server 1. If you have already started, you can just shut down server 1 and server 2, or if you haven't started, you can just change the RAM of server 1 to 8 GB, and from 8 GB to 2 GB, and server 2 from 4 GB to 8 GB. So why do we need to do that? Okay. So if we have the diagram, so we have the three machines now here, and the first machine has Active Directory DNS DHCP, and it has also 390 users, and it's logged in with your first name admin right now, right? So it's logged in with if it's not started yet, it will be logged in with this account. And the current situation here is that it's a member server, the other one, and member server means it's joined to the domain, obviously. And also if we go for removal of these and put, so member server logged in with your first name admin, member server logged in with your first name admin. Okay, so Gideon says, are we doing with you today, or are we taking only screenshots? So Gideon, depends on your site hardware. If it is 16 GB RAM, just like last class, if you don't have the hardware, you can follow and take the screenshots where I ask you to take a screenshot. And if you have the hardware, you can follow as well and create those labs. So it's an option, and it's something we are forced to do right now since we don't have access to college machines. So yes, if the hardware is there, please follow. Otherwise, take a screenshot where I ask you to take a screenshot, and do ask questions or whatever we want to understand, or any questions you have. Okay, so here we have the two machines. Now what we need to do is we need to prepare this machine for Exchange server. So this machine needs to be prepared for Exchange 2016. Obviously the other machine needs to be prepared for Exchange server 2016 as well. The best practices for Exchange server 2016 are that okay, I'll also keep the other screen on. Okay, so best practices are that first of all, we have suppose this is a physical disk, right? We have virtual disks, obviously, and these are the one virtual disks that we have here. So that's phi disk or physical disk, and so before we install Exchange server, we can configure. So this is a C drive here, right? So this is the C drive where the operating system is installed right now, and normally the underlying disks are configured with RAID 1, RAID 5, RAID 10. Maybe you've heard about that before. That is highly available storage. So right now our local disk or local storage is just one disk, and suppose we install Exchange on top of this. So obviously if this disk has some issue and it crashes, so not only our operating system is gone, but our Exchange server is also gone, right? Or not accessible until that disk is recovered. So normally there is storage is made highly available in the form of RAID 1 or RAID 5 or RAID 10, RAID 6. So those which are redundant. So what are RAIDs? We will briefly talk on that, and then we will create two extra disks there, and we're going to create a volume on top of that, and that will be our E drive. Why not D drive after C? D drive is our DVD-ROM. So E drive is for application. Here we can just put the application. If we put the application there, so it will be highly available, and I'm going to explain that how RAID 1 really works. So that would okay. So um, so we're going to configure the RAID 1 here, and we should have a good idea about that. What is RAID, and why are we configuring it? What's the big deal with it, right? But we will be configuring RAID 1. So what am I talking about here? If I go to another diagram here, so RAID, there are many RAIDs. There are RAID 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, RAID 10 as well. So if we just compare RAID 0, RAID 1, RAID 5 quickly, so we would know that what are those, and why an Exchange server. Whenever you install an application, obviously the underlying hard disk, the hard disk on which the storage or hard disk on which it is being installed must be highly available storage. So in that case, then we go for RAID 0, RAID 1, or RAID 5. And then also RAID 10 here. So RAID 0 is that you create or configure volumes together, and it's not redundant. So now let me just quickly create those diagrams here. So suppose you have one disk, second disk, third disk here, and each disk is 1 TB. So in that case, you can just create a volume by combining these disks there, and the volume on top would have a total of 3 TB here, right? So suppose it's 10 disks, each 1 TB, so you have a total. On top of it, it's just one volume of where you can create a partition, C drive, or maybe multiple partitions. So it's just one volume. With RAID 0, what happens is that if it, if one disk goes down, then you have the whole volume goes down. So it's not redundant. So if one disk goes down, the whole volume is lost. So that is RAID 0. But you can have more capacity there for the disks, and but it's not redundant. So RAID 0 would be not redundant, right? So RAID 1 is minimum and maximum 2 drives are needed for that. If you have just 2 drives there, and suppose the size is whatever the size is, 1 TB, suppose the size of this drive, and 1 TB the size of this drive. So and on top of that, you created a volume here as well. So it's also called mirroring, RAID 1. You created a C drive here as well, right? C drive. So it's a volume, but the good thing with this is that it's called mirroring, or it is redundant, and that means also that it can tolerate the loss of one disk. Obviously there are total two, and which means it can tolerate the loss of one disk, means that even if one disk goes down, then the volume will still be up and running, and whatever operating system and software you have here will keep on running. Suppose this disk goes down, still the volume will be up and running. But if in the RAID 0 case it goes down, so the volume also goes down. Here the volume remains. It can tolerate the loss of one disk. So it just gives you the option that, hey, before the next disk goes, the only other disk goes down, just go to your, just grab another disk and replace it with the dead disk here, or crashed disk here. But the main thing to understand here is it can tolerate the loss of one disk. And then there is RAID 5, and that is stripe set with parity, where with parity. So here it can also tolerate the loss of one disk. Minimum it requires 3 disks, minimum 3 up to 32 disks, right? And here, suppose you have minimum 3 disks and up to 32 disks. So you can just create a volume on top of that. This means that you can have huge amount of disks there, and you can create a partition on top of that, or partitions. Suppose it is actually 6 disks from 3 to 32, right? So it can also tolerate the loss of just one disk. So it is also redundant, can tolerate the loss of one disk. Even if you have 32 disks, it can only tolerate the loss of one disk. But if you have RAID 6 instead of 5, that can tolerate the loss of 2 disks as well. Thing is that, so yeah, these two are redundant. Yeah, this is redundant and this is also redundant. And so if one disk goes down, then the other disk, all the other disks keep the volume alive. If the second disk goes down, then the whole volume is down as well, right? So in stripe set with parity, you just have more capacity. That's the difference between RAID 5 and RAID 1. RAID 1 minimum maximum 2 disks, and while in RAID 5, so let me just put that, min max equals 2 disks. Here it's minimum 3 disks and maximum 32 disks, right? So but you can have a big application, you can install a big application on RAID 5 if you have a lot of disks there on a physical server. And but then there is RAID 10 as well. RAID 10 is RAID 1 plus 0. So RAID 10 is what is used if there is SAN, obviously, and on SAN you normally put your applications. But those smaller companies that are using they don't have SAN, and they are installing their applications on local servers, then RAID 10 is good for them. So in RAID 10, what happens is you take a pair of disks and another pair of disks. Suppose you have total 6 disks, so you take a pair, and so this pair is RAID 1. You create a RAID 1 for this, right? So this is all RAID 1 pair here, RAID 1 pair here, and RAID 1 pair. So the thing is that on top of that, so this is RAID 1, and this is also RAID 1, and this is also RAID 1. This is what you will find in production environments there nowadays. If they did not install the application on SAN, or if the databases are on SAN but the application and operating system is still on the local disk, which it is, so you have to have RAID under that. So what happens here is RAID 1, RAID 1, RAID 1, and it is surrounded by RAID 0 like this. So surrounded by RAID 0. So what happens is that RAID 0 can only lose, RAID 0 can not afford to lose any disk, right? So what happens is if one disk goes down here, still the whole RAID 1 didn't go down. So this one pair is like one disk for RAID 0. This one pair is one disk for RAID 0. This one pair is one disk for RAID 0. So if two disks go down from any of the RAID together, then it is RAID, then the RAID 0 is lost. The whole RAID 0 is lost, and this means the whole volume on top of that is also lost. But if only one disk is lost, still, suppose one disk from here also lost. We don't know which disk from which RAID will go, but we have a possibility there that even three disks from three different RAIDs are gone. So you still have one disk each from there. Obviously, you would have spare already in the company, and you would just replace them whenever anyone goes down. And if coincidentally 2 goes down, the whole RAID goes down, that is considered one disk for RAID 0. RAID 0 cannot tolerate the loss of even a single disk, so then the whole RAID 0 goes down as well. So these are the high availability of storage that I talked about. So what we can configure here is actually what is recommended by Exchange Server. Of all types of Exchange Server installation has that recommendation that at least put your application on local server disks that are highly available, or they are redundant. So what we will do is we're going to go for RAID 1, which is, so if I go back to my other diagram here, we will be adding 2 disks to this server 2. So this is our, I think, your first name server 1, right? Server 1, and this is server 2 that we created last class, and this is server 3. So according to the best practices, vendor best practices, obviously you cannot put your critical application on top of a storage that is not redundant. So how to make a redundant storage? We're going to just create 2 disks, and then we're going to configure them in RAID 1 configuration, and then on top of that we're going to configure the volume, and on top of that we're going to install Exchange Server. So it's not a very big deal, but you must know that according to the vendor best practices, it has to be a highly available solution, highly available, redundant storage solution. So the storage has to be redundant or highly available. For that purpose, that's the first thing we need to do. Then we're going to go for, once the E drive is ready, which is just one volume on top of actually 2 disks, and they will be in a RAID 1 format available, right? So once we configure that in server 2, then we're going to just go ahead and try to then we're going to start the the prerequisites of the Exchange Server one by one. And what are the prerequisites? If we go back to this slide here, we will take snapshot of server 1. Okay, so some of the things that we need to do initially, and then we're going to go for RAID 1 configuration. After RAID 1, we then start with the prereqs here, prerequisites, and we'll install 2 utilities there before Exchange Server could be installed, and then finally we're going to go for Exchange Server 2016 installation. So once it is, so that's a big installation. It's bigger than SQL Server installation, but that's why we're going to be carefully doing all the steps here. And once successfully installed, then we will launch it inside our browser, and we will try to then go through the features of Exchange Server itself. So let's go ahead and start with this lab, and while we're installing Exchange, we're going to discuss all the other concepts during the installations of deployment and planning, and obviously the hardware and software prereqs there. So I'm just going to go for, so what's the next? There are 3 possible installations of Exchange 2016 that you can perform. So before that, guys, first of all, let's start those who are following and uploading the lab screenshots as well. Others, you just need to take the screenshots of where I ask you to. So we will install the server 1 and server 2. So the thing is, let's just change the RAM of server 1 back to 2 GB and server 2 from 4 GB up to 8 GB, right? So we're going to change the RAM first. I'm just going to go back here in my environment, and here I see 1, 2, 3 servers here, and I'll click the first one, and the first one has 8 GB RAM. Oh, that's the template for this. I'll just put it here. Okay, so first one is 8 GB. I don't want the first one to be 8 GB, but I didn't start the first server yet, right? So if you have started, you can shut down the first server and then simply change that. So I'm just going to go for memory. I'll click on the memory of first server and change it to 2 GB. We put it on 8 GB initially because we wanted to install Active Directory and DNS and DHCP quickly, right? Now we don't need that. It is already installed. So I'm going to go down to 2 GB here for the first server and press OK. So after the first server's RAM is changed to 2 GB, and we're going to keep it like that throughout our lab. So I'm just going to power on the first server after putting the RAM 2 GB. Then I'm going to go to server 2, which is not powered on yet, and I'm going to upgrade its RAM to 8 GB. Now, if you have total, those were following, if you have total of 16 GB RAM, then yeah, for now you can give still 2 and 8 GB is okay for you within 16 GB RAM, right? Those who have 32 GB RAM, you guys are good. Like, so I have 24 GB RAM here, so I'll just go for. So I'll just change the memory of the second machine here. After the video Word documents that explains step by step how to complete these labs. Are there? Oh, okay. Paul, there is this video that I'm explaining, and normally I have videos. I don't have step-by-step documents for this. In step-by-step, I cannot, really explain why this step is taken and why this step is not taken. So that's why I've created the video for that. So when you want to follow, sometimes the step-by-step document has certain steps confusing for the students as well. But in video, you can't miss anything. It's a straightforward from I click here and then click there. So, okay, Paul says their work classes ran the same way in previous semesters. For last 5 years, yes, it ran the same way. Okay. Okay. There is another comment here. We installed 300 users on that VM machines, which no longer use. We didn't install 390 users last week. Oh, okay. So thank you for letting me know. I'll just I have started the server 1, and I will then start when the server 1 is fully started and logged in. I'm just gonna go inside and we can create the 390 users as well, because we're gonna create 390 mailboxes from there, right? Okay, so okay, Kingsley says, are we just following you and taking screenshots? Yes, Kingsley, because of the circumstances, we don't have the college machines. So yes, where I ask you to take a screenshot, just take a screenshot with your name in the background, as we did before. So, okay, I'm just gonna go for this 4 GB RAM. I'm just gonna upgrade it to 8 GB, right? And I'm gonna press OK. So this is also done. Power on this virtual machine. Okay. So server 1 is loaded and server 2 are loaded here. So I'm just gonna go for server 1 first and log in from that. Then there is server 2, and I'll just log in from there as well. So in the first server, the Active Directory DNS and DHCP are all installed, and there was that comment on by one student that we did not install the 390 users there. So I'm on server 1 here, and I'm just gonna click the tools here and go to Active Directory users and computers, and then I'll just expand that domain. And yes, I don't see the Exchange folder there, so this means that as you said, we didn't create the 390 users with PowerShell, so we can actually go ahead and create that, because according to the diagram, we were supposed to have the 390 users here. So yes, and now why 390 users here? Because we're going to be in Exchange server, we're going to be creating 390 mailboxes here. So there will be one PowerShell commandlet that will help us simply. It will just check that how many Active Directory users are there, and then it will create mailboxes for every user. We don't need that many mailboxes, but how to create them for large amount of users, we're going to check that out. Okay, so Eric says, I don't think the file is on Blackboard anymore for the users. The 300 users? Okay, I'll just arrange it now. Oh, okay. There's another comment there. I'm having blue screen when starting the machine. Ouch. So there's that blue screen of BSOD, that is called, and that is blue screen of death, and normally we refer to it. So yes, Jericho, let it finish the 100% and then let it restart. Hopefully it does not show the blue screen again. If it does, then maybe your machine is corrupt now, if it again and again shows blue screen. Normally it shows once and then it restarts normal. Okay, so the 390 users file, I'm just gonna quickly make this available. If I go to the week 5 in Blackboard, I'm on week 5 in Blackboard. So yeah, so I'll just quickly put that there. So if I was on download link for Exchange 2016, yeah, if I click that download link, does it have anything else? No. Okay guys, I'll just quickly arrange that now. It's very small, 2 files. Try. So these are 2 files here. I'll just grab the link. So I'm just pasting the link in WebEx, then I'm pasting the link in the class group there, and then I'm going to put it on the week 5 Blackboard as well. Okay, inside week 5, where all the other software also is available. So guys, have we all downloaded? You can just start the download of Exchange Server 2016 Cumulative Update 11 from week 5. You can start downloading that while we are still preparing for the prerequisites and vendor best practices, right? So you can just download. So link. Download the 390 user creating PowerShell script. Submit. So it's in week 5 as well now. download 300 users PowerShell script. That's 2 files there. So I'll just show you how to create those, and we can just go ahead. Even if you just create 2 users and create a mailbox for that, that's good. But in production environments, normally you have lots of users there. So in that case, so these are 2 files: create lab users.ps1 and lab users.csv, right? So I'm gonna go for just downloading these 2 files, and I'll be putting that in server 1. So right now, if we go for our diagram, so let's place the 2 files inside the C drive. We're going to create an empty folder called, in C drive, we're going to create an empty folder called scripts, and place these 2 files there. So, or any folder inside, because we're going to just simply run them by right clicking PowerShell, and then they will run, right? So you can just place it in, copy paste the 2 files inside the server 1 downloads folder or scripts folder, but just to be organized. So that's the 2 files inside scripts, and execute them to create 390 users in server 01, right? So that's the first thing. I'll just go ahead and simply copy paste the files anywhere in server 1, and then just execute them, right? I'll show you how to do that. And I'm recording everything, yeah. Okay, so yeah, these are the 2 files. Oh, okay, so there's another error showing here. So the publisher couldn't be verified. Yeah, just after downloading, if it shows that, it's okay. You can just go to the folder, click the down arrow button, and go to the location where they were downloaded and just copy paste. It's okay. If it lets you download, that's good enough. Okay, so I'll just go ahead now, and this PC. In the downloads folder, I'll just copy those files. So I'm just gonna go to my software folder here. If they're not there, then downloads. Yeah. So create labusers.ps1, that's what you downloaded, and labusers.csv, that's what you downloaded, right? So these need to be downloaded and pasted inside server 1. So I'm just gonna paste it inside server 1. So this is server 1. I'll just right click and paste. That's it. Okay, Paul says, can I run the script right off a Samba folder share? Oh, Samba folder share. So it is on Linux, and you're trying to run into Windows. So yes, as long as you're able to execute a PowerShell script, transfer files to VMware. Okay. So if PowerShell environment is not there, you cannot run it. You have to have a PowerShell environment for this script to run. I don't think Samba provides that, but you can try. You have to copy it inside the Windows PowerShell environment. So if Samba provides PowerShell environment, yes, sure. I don't think it does, but latest version might. So guys, I have copied, I've pasted this inside the server 1, the 2 files, right? So what do I do now? Okay, Paul says I can explore a network drive from PowerShell. Yeah, if it is over the Microsoft SMB server message block, that if you're saying Samba is SMB, SMB is server message block. Samba is a Linux to Windows, bridging platform, right? So yes, you can, if you know the scripts for that. Net drive also is a command prompt based command. So, but if it is over the Microsoft machines, between Microsoft machines, it's SMB or server message block is used. If you're having that, yes, you can then put it as a network drive. But better, keep it simple. Try to keep it simple and try to just copy paste, because that might, if it takes you much longer time, try to just simply copy paste, because the next tasks are more complicated. This is just an easy one. Okay. So here I'm just going to go for create lab users. I will, once you paste it successfully inside the machine, then I'm going to simply right click on it. Why would I right click on it? I need to run it within PowerShell. Now this is the quickest way to do it. Otherwise you can open PowerShell from here and then right click here in Windows PowerShell, then go to more and then run as administrator. So and then you have to go to that path where you've copied these two files and then execute them. So that's a longer way to do the same thing that I can do with right click and run with PowerShell, right? So I'm just going to right click and run with PowerShell. It might ask you that, hey, do you have the permission to do that? And it might give you a warning there, hey, first of all, get permission, or just press yes if you are sure you want to really run this script, right? So I'm just, oh, there you go. So execution policy change. So normally it does not let anyone, PowerShell does not let anyone execute right away unless you say, yes, I know that this is a secure script and I want to run it, so please let me run it. So obviously there is A and Y. I'm just going to type Y and press enter, right? So that's pretty straightforward. Type Y and enter. So then it asks that, okay, I let you run, but then the script is asking where is the other file, labusers.csv, that has the 390 users in a proper format written inside. So they are in my downloads folder there. If I click the libraries on the left side, or I'll just go drop down here, and there's a download folder showing here where I pasted the two files. And there's the labusers.csv file. So you just need to track where is that labusers files, and then select and open, or just simply double click it, and it will just grab all the 300 users from inside and create those users in Active Directory and computers. Later we're going to create mailboxes for those users in Exchange server, right? Well, so I'm just going to double click that or click and open, so it creates all the users like this. We did that before as well in previous labs. So after creating the users, it just vanished, which is okay. I just need to prove that the users were created or not. So I'll just click minimize here and go to tools, and there is Active Directory users and computers. And once Active Directory and computer is open, I'll just expand that so you can see that. Well, I can see. Actually, I cannot see that new folder that gets created. It was supposed to be created with Exchange name there, so Exchange users, but I don't see that got created. Okay, so that was not good. Normally it does get created, but yes, when we do live things, live labs, sometimes it does do unexpected as well, so it's not there. So what I can do is, oh, you got the same result? Okay, so not for me as well. Yusuf said, okay, so guys, let's go for the other way. Yeah, I'm logged in with administrator, so if I just hover my mouse over there, oh sorry, click that and hover my mouse here. So your first name admin is the enterprise admin. It is a copy of the administrator account, right? But let's do it another way, guys. I'm just gonna go to C drive, as I was writing there as well. Let's go to C drive of server 1 and create an empty folder called scripts, or any name. I'm gonna go for C drive in server 1 and create an empty folder called scripts. SCRI right, and double click that. So it's an empty folder. I just need to copy those two files. I did that and it didn't work as well. Oh, user, really? Okay, let me do that too. So I'm gonna go to downloads folder and copy those two files inside this empty folder scripts in C drive. Downloads, copy, go to this PC, C drive. If the script for some weird reason is not working, then we can just create 5 users and go ahead. So I'm just gonna paste it here. The two files are here, right? C drive, scripts, and the two files. And then what we can do, what I was telling you before, open PowerShell with admin privileges. So I'm just gonna click left here, right? Left click here and go to Windows PowerShell after pasting the script, right? Right click and more, run as administrator, or run as administrator here as well. Don't go for ISE. It works there as well. It's just that it takes a bit longer. We can do the same thing here in regular PowerShell. So run as administrator. Yes. So from here, within the PowerShell, we need to reach here, C drive scripts, and execute this file, right? So how do I go there? CD / enter, dir. I'll try to see the contents. There is the scripts folder here. I need to go inside the scripts folder, right? CD space SCRIPDS or SC and tab. It auto completes that folder name as well. So I'm inside the scripts folder and then dir to see the contents. So I see the two files. I need to execute the first one, CREAT. So the good thing in PowerShell, now you guys are learning PowerShell, so when you type the first few characters, then you can press tab to autocomplete that. So I'm just going to go for CREA and press tab. You make sure that it is in this format. Don't type it in this format. Click the tab button and then put it in this format, right? So dot / and this is the executable form of it. Just type the first few letters and press tab. It will autocomplete like this. So it is executable form. I'm just going to press enter there. Okay, enter is pressed, and then the path is still there. I'm just going to go for, this is the downloads folder path, which is exactly the same file, but I'm still going to go for the scripts, although they both have no difference, but it didn't work that way, right, from there. So I'm just going to the C drive and then scripts folder where the same file is there. I don't think there's any big difference, but still, so now this PowerShell is with administrator privileges, right? You can see here. It works that way, but if it does not for some weird reason, then we can just simply create 5 accounts, your first name 01, your first name 02, 03, 04, 05, 06. And then we can just create the mailboxes for those. So you create mailbox with the PowerShell commandlet, either for 5 user mailboxes, or you create mailbox for 5,000 users. The same PowerShell script works for thousands of users, and same PowerShell script works for 5 users as well, right? Oh, it works now. Okay, Yusuf, thank you for confirming that. Wow, it's like, normally it's very fast. Oh, okay, script's completed. So it shows here. Now I'll go to my Active Directory and computers, and I just need to click on the domain and refresh just a few million times. And yes, now it has the Exchange users folder. So if I expand that and click Exchange users, so there's that. So guys, that will be our first screenshot today. Server 1, 390 users created. Take a screenshot here. First screenshot, everyone. Server 1, 390 users created. Those who are not following the lab, please just put your picture there. No, put your name there, not picture. Hey, picture would be good as well. How about that? No, name there, and I'll just take a quick screenshot, sample screenshot here, right? Okay, so I'm there in portal. I'll just put that, so I'll fill in the rest of the stuff as well. Screenshot 1, and that is 390 users created in server 01, and I'll just take that screenshot now. Yes, we did create 300 users. For today's first screenshot, it will be that for today, right? Because their mailboxes will be created as well later. So, but yes, you're right. And that machine we had to discard because we created that in Azure. So here it is, our current network where we have those. Sometimes, yeah, two class screenshots are same, but for that day, we need to have that proof. Okay, I'll just quickly go for 06Oct, and yeah, yeah, we did this before on Azure exactly. Okay, so let's go ahead, guys, and the screenshot is here, and I'll put that. Oh man, really? I have to put that on. Is that okay to put it just on portal or? Okay, mail server. I'm putting on WhatsApp as well. Mail server. Screenshot 1, and that is 390 users created in where created and server 01. Okay. And okay, let's try to go ahead. Can it copy here? Serious. You know this screenshot thing. Okay, now the sample screenshot is in WhatsApp as well. Alright guys, let's go ahead. The 300 users is created. If I go back to my objectives here, so the next thing is, so we changed the RAM of the servers and created 390 users in 80. Okay, let's go for taking a snapshot now. What is that thing? So we did take a snapshot before of our virtual machine, not screenshot, the snapshot in VMware Workstation. So I want you to take a screenshot. Seriously, test this screenshot. Snapshot of a virtual machine where Active Directory, DNS, DHCP, and 300 users are configured perfectly. So let's take a snapshot. This is not a screenshot. Snapshot of this server 1 only, right? I'm just gonna go back here, and it's gonna save a lot of time later if you know, something messes up and we had to resort back to where AD, DNS, DHCP were properly working. So right now they are properly working. So I'm just gonna go for server 1 here, and I'm gonna go to this option, snapshot. Right? We already have a snapshot where it was just basically configured. Now it's much more configuration is done, so I'm just gonna go for a second snapshot now. So click take snapshot, and obviously the more information you put there when you come back, you know that okay, this much you don't have to do if you come back to the snapshot. So it's AD DNS DHCP dash 390 users. So AD DNS DHCP 390 users are created in this snapshot. If we had to resort back to this one, hopefully not. If we had to, then these we don't have to redo. So once we have written that AD DNS DHCP 390 users, click take snapshot, and ignore that it's going to take forever to create that snapshot. In fact, it's not taking forever. It's fast now, right? Okay guys, so if we check our tasks here, okay, so Paul says does shutting down the VM save storage when performing a snapshot? So no, Paul, it's going to be you know, taking the snapshot of the whole configuration, whether it is shut down, started, it's, yeah, same thing. So no, it's not going to save or save space. And snapshot, you know what, snapshot is also very small. It takes very small size, right? So it's only the configuration, current configuration. Okay, so we took a snapshot of the server 1 at when everything is working, and we're gonna make sure it keeps working. Yeah. So Paul says so it does not record the state of the RAM. So no, it's the configuration there. But suppose you have 5 or 6 windows open there. Yes, it does record that. So yes, it does record the state of the RAM as well, and whatever is loaded there plus the actual configuration. So it's frozen in time. Okay, so our next task is to achieve highly available storage for Exchange server application. Okay, doesn't storing the RAM take extra storage? Yes. No. When I'm saying it is taking very small space, I'm comparing it with the whole size of the virtual machine. So yes, it's comparatively very small space it takes, and the size of the virtual machine would be like 20-30 GB, and that would take what? Hardly 1 GB, 3 GB maybe. So RAM contents normally are not very huge. It doesn't take huge amount of on RAM. Okay. Hey guys, are you hearing something? Okay. So I'll mute mic here. Okay guys, so hopefully not another hacker attack here. So guys, let's go for our highly available storage as a vendor best practice. So what are we planning to do here? We're planning to go for RAID 1 here. So how to create a RAID 1 now? There's a hardware RAID and then there's a software RAID. In production environments in companies, obviously you will go for hardware RAID. So if I go to the diagram, this would be a physical server in your company, and this will be a physical disk there. Physical disks, maybe 20 disks you have, maybe 15 disks you have, maybe 10 disks you have on IBM, Dell, or any other physical server. But here we have virtual machines, right? So what we can do is a software SAN. Software SAN is not used in production environments, but the way it is configured is pretty much nearest to how you would configure a hardware SAN in a production environment. So, and also that if something happens to the disk here as well, one of the disks, so your application will not crash. Okay, so we need to go for adding 2 disks here. We're gonna go to server 2 now. First we're gonna log in, and once logged in, that's it. So then we can add the 2 disks. So the procedure would be, I'll just quickly put it down here as a next step, and that is configuring a highly available storage solution for Exchange Server 2016, right? So these are very simple, straightforward steps. Oops, what's wrong? Okay, simple. So how simple are they? Well, obviously nothing is that simple, but let me just line up the steps here. Add 2 disks. Let's just change the size of it, 300 GB each on server 02. Format them with when you add 2 raw disks there, so put them online, initialize them, right? And then simply create a RAID 1 configuration out of the 2 newly added disks, right? And then create a volume with drive letter E on top of it. So Once done, then confirm that we see an E drive in among other drives like C drive, D drive, E drive, right? And this will be dedicated for Exchange Server 2016 installation, 2016 application, we can say. So we're going to install it on top of that. Okay, so let's just configure a highly available storage here with RAID 1. So for that, I'm just going to go to server 2 now, and server 2 here, right? And on server 2, if I need to add the 2 disks, I will be I will be going to right click and go to settings. So let's go to settings here, and then click the add button. So once we click the add button, it's already selected on hard disk. So the next screenshot will be that we have added 2 disks, 300 GB each. So I'm going to select the hard disk and click next. SCSI is OK, and click next. Create a new virtual disk and click next. So just why are we giving 300? Because just to identify that these disks are for RAID 1. Otherwise, we don't need 200 GB space, or we don't need even 300 GB space, just to identify separate disks from the actual disk where your operating system is installed. So 300 here, and single file, we discussed that before. Do not click this, allocate all disk space now. This is thick provision. It's going to take up actual 300 GB on your disk, so we're not going to click this option. So keep it 300 and single file, and click next. So this is the outside name of this particular virtual disk inside the folder of this virtual machine server 2. So this is in your laptop. It's going to be named like this in that particular folder where the rest of the virtual machine files are living. So we don't need to change that as well, and click finish. So as soon as we click finish, you can see that the new hard disk added as 300. We're going to just add one more exactly like this. I'm going to click add here again, and then the hard disk is already selected. Next, SCSI is there. Next, create a new virtual disk, same option, right? Next, so here 300 just for consistency, and single file, especially on this page, just these two, and click next. So outside virtual disk, VMDK is the extension of the virtual disk in VMware virtual machine disks. So I'm just going to click finish, and so there's 300 GB. So guys, that would be our second screenshot where yes, the machine name is showing. Well, for me it's showing, but you can just put your name in the background. Those were not following. Those are following. Well, your name will be showing here anyway. So I'll take a screenshot of this. So it's 2 disks added to server 2 is the name of the screenshot. 2 disks added to server 2. Make sure your name is showing in the background. Take a screenshot here. Take a screenshot number 2. Take a screenshot number 2. Hopefully everyone has taken that. So I'm going to go for so screenshot 2 equals 2 disks added to server 02, right? And the screenshot. So in WhatsApp, mail server equals screenshot 2 disks added to server 02. Okay, there as well. Okay guys, so the first step, add to this 300 GB to on server 2. Hopefully you have taken the screenshots as well. Now we're just going to go inside server 2 and simply configure them into RAID 1 and create a volume on top of them. So I'll just go back to the server where the 2 disks have been just added, and I'm going to press OK here. So we're inside server 2. Now we just need to configure it to be ready for RAID 1. So I'm just going to go to the tools inside server 2 here. I'm going to go to tools, and there's a computer management here. Tools, computer management. And then, so there's that disk management. And I can see my disk 1 and disk 2. So the counting starts from disk 0 here in Windows. Hopefully we all know that. I'm just going to drag it up and down, so drag it up a little to see my 2 disks. Now these are the 2 disks that were added inside, and they're offline both. So first what we can do is make them online, make them both online. That's the first thing. So I'm going to right click here and click online. I'm going to go down here, right click and click online here as well. Second thing is, so it is online but it's not initialized. Make sure that both 2 disks are first made online, so initialization will pick up those 2 disks together. I'm going to right click on disk 1 and initialize disk now. So once you click initialize, it asks for, yep, the Brady says, sorry, what did you do after you make screenshots? Oh, after I made screenshots of the 2 disks, yeah, then press OK. Yeah, so did you press OK, Brady? And you can share the error and try to add them. Again, parameters for device SCSI 0 may not be modified while the virtual machine is powered on. I think if you have NVMe disks there, then the NVMe disks gets added while the machine is shut down. These SCSI disks are added while the machine is powered on. So I've seen that with NVMe that you have to shut down to add a disk. So go ahead and shut down and then add a disk and come back and then power on. Then you have to come to tools and management. So when you're there, let me know. But tools and disk management. So here I'm just going to right click on disk 1 and initialize disk. So once you right click disk 1 and initialize, shut down what? Oh, Brady, are you able to hear me? Hopefully you're able to hear me. Yeah, so if it's asking that you cannot add a disk while the machine is powered on, then you have to shut down your virtual machine here. So server 2 has to be shut down. Just right click power and shut down guest, this one, and then add the 2 disks, right? So it's according to the message. I don't know why it's telling you this. My VMware Workstation version is 15.5. Hopefully yours is the same, or maybe it's older. Second thing is, if you have NVMe disks, these are much faster in your laptop or desktop. If you have those, then yes, then you have to shut down the machine and add the 2 disks. Okay guys, so I right clicked here, and then it is asking for the 2 disks together. So we brought them online one by one, right? So guys, again, yeah, I'm here to help everyone. The thing is that we have to record the whole thing as well, all the topics. That's why I'm still going ahead. I'm not really stopping, but I can give you tips, and whenever you're there, I can tell you what to do, right? But let me also record. It's a lot of steps there in the lab. But also, yeah, you need help, let me know. So disk 1, MBR or GPT. So master boot record, this is, you can select any one of those. MBR has a limitation of supporting 2 terabyte disks up, and not more than 2 terabyte. GPT supports more than 2 terabyte up to 64 terabyte. So GPT is just for bigger partitions, larger partitions, more partitions there. MBR supports very less of all this, right? So right now it doesn't really matter to us. MBR is okay. If you selected GPT, it's okay. If you selected MBR, doesn't really matter. So the two disks are selected here, and whatever is selected is okay, and press OK. So you can see that first we brought the two disks online each, then we initialized the two disks, just pressed OK after clicking initialize, right? Now there's unallocated written here, so but there are two disks. Now we know that RAID 1 requires maximum two disks, right? RAID 1 requires that. So if we click on unallocated area here anywhere, so you would see this. So okay, Dylan says you went with MBR. Yes, Dylan, I went with MBR. So when you right click here, you can see that new mirrored volume is selectable now. So mirroring is RAID 1. So this means that if the two disks are there and raw, we haven't formatted these disks, right? So you can mirror first and then format the volume that is available as a result of mirroring. That is the volume on which you can put data. So new mirrored volume is there, so we can create a RAID 1 out of these two disks now. And these two disks can be where we can install the Exchange 2016 application on. So I'm going to click that new mirrored volume, right? And then the wizard starts that, oh, you want to actually, so a mirrored volume duplicates your data on two disks. Create a mirrored volume if you want to keep two separate copies of all your information to prevent data loss. Okay, so that's hence mirroring. So the first disk is a mirror of the second one. Two copies of data are there. So let's click next, and it says there that okay, I detect one disk, but do you want to add the other one? Obviously yes, we want to add the other one as well. So available, I'm going to select that and click the add button, right? And guys, one more thing about RAID 1 is that you cannot you're going to use the half of the disk space. So if it was 300, we were supposed to have 600 GB space here, but we still have 300 GB space. Why? Because half of this is used for the copying purpose, half of this is used for the actual data or application that you install. So in mirroring, you get half the space. So that's another limitation of mirroring. So if it's 1 terabyte each, so you will just get 1 terabyte volume instead of 2 terabyte volume. Okay, so the two disks are added, but we still get 300 GB. And if you selected that, that's it. We can click next. It's going to give us E drive. So we're going to see the C drive, D drive, and this will be the E drive now, but it's on top of two disks now. And next. So what we can do is we can label that, so it will be our application volume. We can also type Exchange particularly here, or just an application volume, or just application. So just type here application, and obviously, well, that's it. Yeah, application and perform a quick format. Just type application and click the perform a quick format, and once you have clicked the perform a quick format, then click next. That's it. So let's click finish, right? Okay, so it says that the operation you selected will convert the selected basic disk to dynamic disk. So you can see that basic is written there. So it's going to convert it to dynamic disk, and dynamic disks are those which offer advanced features like the redundancy features of RAID 1 and RAID 5. So yes, we're just going to simply press yes here. Okay, so it's creating one volume on top of two disks, and you can see that it's showing E drive here as well as E drive on the next drive, because one volume with the drive letter E is created on top of two disks now. So it's a RAID 1 configured disks. If one disk goes down, still our application will be up and running. Hopefully we know that it went down. Normally it doesn't. It's a software RAID, so hopefully we're not gonna mess it to that level that it crashes. So if this is showing healthy, then that's our screenshot number 3 that RAID 1 created. Screenshot number 3 would be RAID 1 created. Screenshot number 3, RAID 1 created. So I'm just gonna take that screenshot now. So that's screenshot number 2. Screenshot 3 equals RAID 1 created. Oh, sorry, on what? On server 2. If you have already written it and closed, it's okay. Otherwise, RAID 1 created on server 2. Okay, so Reddit says, is it okay if both hard disks we create mark as disk 0 and 1? No, no. It has to be disk 1 and 2. Ready? Disk 0 is our disk which has an operating system inside. If we use that, we might lose our operating system. Disk 2 is my... Oh, disk 2 is yours? Oh. Okay. Can you go back to take a screenshot? Yes. Guys, take a screenshot here. Take a screenshot here. Yeah, ready? Send a screenshot. If you're sure about operating system, ready? You know, there are some initialization files on the first drive. Initialization files that help the operating system boot. So, okay, Gideon's also saying what's the name. So guys, Brady, my suggestion would be to add separate disks which are away from your operating system and the first drive that has your initialization files. Otherwise, it might not really work. Okay, so disk 0 and disk 1. Oh, okay. So it looks this way. Never saw that before. But if your operating system is okay, yeah, system reserved, and it actually is C drive, yeah, okay. Ready, you're okay. After restart, we will know, but I'm sure it's gonna work. Yeah. Okay. Guys are asking about what's the title. This is the title, and I took a screenshot, so let me just show you the title here. So RAID 1 created on server 2, and hopefully you took the screenshot already. So I'll just put it here, mail server equals, and then I'll go for the screenshot here again. Okay, let's go ahead. So hopefully everyone took the screenshot of this. So this is our the highly available storage or redundant storage. I'm just gonna go to the yellow folder now. I'll go to the yellow folder now. The File Explorer in server 2, and this is how it is looking like now. So there's a 299 GB free space here in E drive for the application, and C drive just for the operating system now dedicated, right? And it is also not, you're seeing one volume, but it is on top of, as we know, two physical disks or virtual disks. Okay, so that configuration is also done. Let's go for the next steps. If I go down to the list here, so yeah, I took the snapshot, done. We did the RAID 1 as well. Okay, we will run the prerequisites and script in PowerShell for Exchange server. We install the other two utilities. We will install the Exchange server 2016. Okay, I missed the screenshot. Khalid says. Khalid. So let me just pose for it as well, smiling while you're taking a screenshot of this. Oh no. Okay, so this is Khalid. This is the one. So guys, screenshot 3 is, yeah, it's a sample screenshot is there as well. Alright guys, the screenshot has been taken. Hopefully you're putting your name there. If I don't see a name, then how would I know? So please put your name in the back. Without your name, that screenshot is not going to be acceptable. So okay guys, let's go ahead and try to go for the next prerequisites. I'm just going to close in server 2. I'm going to close this computer management window because we have done our work here. So we're going to close that. So now this in this server 2, we need to install some prerequisites of Exchange server. Without that, Exchange server will not install. So one of them is .NET Framework 4.7 as well. So pain in the neck. But we're going to make sure that Exchange server installation is smooth. Otherwise, it starts spitting a lot of errors, and before you know it, it becomes annoying. So we're going to just make sure that everything is smoothly going on. Not smoothly. Okay, so here one thing is actually not mentioned, and we will run the prereq in PowerShell. Yeah, we're gonna run .NET Framework 4.7.1. So let's install .NET Framework 4.7.1 in server 02, right? And then we're going to go for the rest of the Exchange 2016 prerequisites. But this is going to provide the files that will help install the latest versions of Exchange 2016 files. So we're going to do that first. So install .NET Framework. Now for that, see this, we need internet in server 02, right? So for that we need internet connection in server 02. Okay, let's do this. I'm going to go to server 2 now, and first give it internet connection. How do we give internet connection to server 2? We're going to add a second NIC here. So we already have one NIC here. So suppose that's physical NIC here, physical network card, right? So let me just put that phi NIC. So that's a physical NIC, and so this physical NIC is already attaching the 3 machines to their local network, and we selected VMnet 15 for these machines. So if we need internet connection, obviously we're not going to disturb our local network. We're going to go for a second NIC here to get internet connection. So that will be second NIC, and that will be connected to NAT automatically, while our other is already connected to VMnet 15. That's just a local LAN that we have provided. So that is all VMnet 15 already. Okay, second NIC will be NAT, and NAT will give us internet connection. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to server 2, we're going to add a second network card, and we're going to attach it to NAT, and we're going to make sure that we see internet connection. Just open a browser, look for Trump there. If you see Trump, that means the internet is there, right? So let's go ahead, and we're going to go for server 2, and on server 2, I don't have internet because there's a yellow triangle showing here as well. So I'm just going to go to right click here on server 2 and go to settings, go to settings, right? And then I only see that I have one network adapter. Let's go for the second network adapter by clicking add. And I'm going to select the fourth one, that is network adapter, and click finish. So it automatically selects NAT there. So that's the network adapter 2, and that is on NAT. That's what we want. So if that is done, let's press OK. Right? So I'm just going to press OK now. Okay, once that is done, we need to make sure we have internet connection. I have Internet Explorer here, but if I minimize, oh, we don't have Chrome. Serious. Okay. I'm going to open the Internet Explorer. Just simply confirm if we have internet, that's all. If it is too slow, then your .NET framework might take that kind of time as well. If the internet is opening fast for you, that's okay, or normal speed it is opening. Wow, it's taking time. Serious. Wow. Well, yeah, if it opens today, that would be great. Serious. Okay. Looks like it's okay. But yeah, if it's taking this much time to load a page here, I can understand that when .NET Framework 4.7 is installed. So guys, .NET Framework 4.7. Now you have internet connection here. Either you can go to the Blackboard from here within this. Wow, my internet is simply dead. Okay, I can just go Blackboard from here, BB George Brown, right? Or you can just go to Week5 and download that .NET Framework file from there as well. Okay, it's slow for you as well. I think it's IE. So I'm just gonna press OK here. I think we all know the extension of Blackboard. So if you can open Blackboard within this, now IE is really bad. It's better to put Chrome here. If we have to interact with the browser, it's better to put Chrome here, while otherwise, I'm just gonna check that IE enhanced security was off, right? Yes, it was off. So well, the thing is, what I'm saying is, go to Week5 and Blackboard and grab the file. Let me just show you. That's a very small file here. And 300 users, tool, yeah. Download offline installer for .NET Framework. It's a very small file. And if you want to directly open this site in your IE in machine, that's also okay. You can grab the URL from here. I can click that and it takes me to that download link. I'll copy this for you in WebEx and download .NET Framework 4.7.1 for Exchange 2016. And I'll put it on WhatsApp as well. Okay, so I'll grab this URL here and I'll go inside the machine and put it in IE. Okay, that's why. Or it's better to go for Chrome. I'll just go for Chrome here. I don't want to interact with this. So guys, since you have internet, it's easy to download Chrome, right? Make a political statement and use Firefox. Yeah, you can use Firefox as well. Exactly. If you want, if you see Trudeau, how about that? No. Okay, I have to come up with that. So, okay. Well, fight the internet becoming a monoculture. Yeah, you're right. You should go for. You should promote other software as well. This is not good. Okay, where am I? Ah, why is Chrome not downloading? Seriously, download Chrome now. Like now. I'll go for internet options, security, trusted sites. I'll add Bing. Are you kidding me? You're not trusting your own Bing. I think it's not trusting Google. Serious. Just get it over with. Sites added to this zone must have HTTPS. Oh, okay, I'll uncheck that. I'm saying that. Okay. Oh, DuckDuckGo. Serious? Yep, that's total privacy. Yeah, isn't that slow? But it's privacy. And remember, Google Chrome calls home even if you do not log in. Ouch. Yes. Okay, there's another one. Ask Jeeves. That is also like DuckDuckGo. Cool. Wow, we're getting so much knowledge today. Accept and install. Okay, there we go. So I'll save it. When I give VMware classes, so Chrome works like a charm. So smooth. And Edge and Firefox. Firefox is also excellent. Very good. Opera. Oh, then you would ask for Netscape Navigator, maybe. If you were in that era. We're pretty old. Okay, now why is this so slow? It's terribly slow right now. I'm downloading Chrome, but that's taking forever. So you know what? I'm gonna download from outside and just copy paste here inside this, because outside somehow the internet is good, inside is just too slow. So I'll just download here in my laptop. Download. Right. Okay, yeah. So we're going to political guides. So yeah, let's come back to the technical world. Guys, it was a very small software, so I'm just gonna go outside, and I already downloaded it. Show in folder, and the file looks like this. NDP blah 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 exe, but it's an exe file, right? So I'm gonna copy this, and hopefully it accepts my paste across my LAN to this machine. Seriously? Okay, I'll copy again. It's a very small file, and I'll right click. Oh, serious? Okay. So I'll paste it inside my remote desktop machine here within my home, another machine to which I'm remotely connected. Once it is in local machine, from local machine I'm just gonna go ahead and copy paste into something in server 2 anywhere. I'm gonna copy this file. Come on, inside my server 2 now. Oh, there you go. So okay, the file is finally inside the server 2. And so guys, first thing, if you want to install .NET Framework 4.7.1, it's not if, we have to. The internet should be there. And what was that? Okay, internet access. And then simply paste this file, which is 67 MB. Okay, and then double click that, right? Okay, I hope I don't miss any screenshots. Nope, no screenshot yet. So press yes. Well, since screenshot 3, no screenshot yet. So guys, once you have internet connection and 4.7, just double click that 63 MB 67 MB file, and it's gonna start extracting. Now it's not supposed to take long time, not supposed to, But Exchange Server is not a very forgiving application. So if you want to install it without any issues, we have to be then really patient. Okay, the file is here. Dylan, I just put it on here. Hopefully you see that. Dylan, the link is also in WhatsApp, and it is also here in WebEx, and it's also in week 5 of Blackboard. Okay, so if I check my installation, oh, okay. So I have read and accept the license terms. I'm just gonna press OK here and click install. So it's gonna grab some files from the internet, and it's gonna, with the help of those files, it's gonna install the whole 4.7. Hopefully it's going fine for everyone. So we just need to copy the 67 MB file inside server 2. We need to have internet connection available and then run the file. No, I just double clicked it, Dylan. Yeah, it's good to run as an admin. Hi. Hi. Well, so the installation is still going on, and wow, it's traveling slow. So it says, can I still go along with the course if I don't have VM workstations? Yes, you can. So guys, this what we're doing. Oh, you're doing with Azure? Yeah, sure. If you can pull it off on Azure, yeah, sure. Why not? And we just need to complete the task, and what I'm doing, if you're able to do on any type of machine on planet Earth, yes, you're good. In cloud, you want to do that, you can do that, yes, very good. Or here, yes, very good. Okay guys, so for me it is complete, the 4.7. It didn't take that much. Welcome. But hey, then the screenshots with your name, right? Wherever the screenshots I took, those are, hopefully you follow all that. Okay, so guys, it's just complete for me, and hopefully maybe it's complete for you already. So I'm just gonna click finish now. So all I did was just double click after providing internet connection to that file, and then oh, but it's asking for a restart after this. So I'm just gonna click a restart now. So it's not gonna take too long, and once we start this, then it's going for working on updates. Restarting. Okay, restart it for me. I'm gonna go to send, Control Alt Delete, and log in from my enterprise admin. So if we go back to our steps, so .NET Framework is done, and we need to run this big script that goes to different sections of your Windows Server 2016 and make changes according to the requirements of the Exchange Server 2016. And that's slide 4 I'm at, and I'll put it here. So this is a long PowerShell script that you see here: install dash Windows feature, and then .NET Framework 4.5 features, and RPC over HTTP proxy, RSAT clustering command interface. So it goes on with very small configurations there that are configured the way Exchange 2016 needs it. Then obviously you will have a smooth installation of Exchange 2016. So Microsoft provides these this script for every Exchange installation of any version of Exchange server. So this is what we need to install. So I'm just going to copy this, and you can grab it from, well, it's on the Blackboard, but first of all I can just copy it on WebEx here. So let me just type the whole thing in our, then I'll just paste it from here to everywhere else as well in our Office 365 here. So prereq PowerShell script to be run on server 02 inside admin privileged PowerShell. So, and what's the script? So it's this. Oh wow, serious? Cool. I'll give it a color. I forgot to give it a color. Okay, so this is the explanation, and I'm just going to copy this whole thing here. Control C. Yeah, I could have. Yeah, I should have put it on GitHub. So I just pasted it in your WebEx chat. I've pasted it in your WhatsApp now. Oh, in WhatsApp, guys, it added a box there at the start, so we're not supposed to. So we're gonna start from the install, this one. So I'll remove this. It has to be copied like this. Install, from install we're gonna just copy carefully till the ADDS. That's it. Control C. Once this is run successfully on server 2 inside the PowerShell with admin privileges, then we need to restart this machine. So I'm going to copy this and go to my machine here. First I'm just going to open inside my machine a notepad. Why am I doing that? Sometimes it does not copy in the PowerShell that I've opened from one machine to another. So I just put it in the local notepad here. You don't have to do that if it just copies directly in your server 2 admin privileged PowerShell. Otherwise, well, I'm just doing that. So once the script is there inside the machine in a notepad, then I'm going to open the PowerShell with admin privileges in server 2. So I'm just going to left click here, and then I'll go to Windows PowerShell, and obviously right click and more to go for run as administrator. So once you open PowerShell with admin privileges, press yes, and we need to execute this whole script. When it is done, we need to restart the machine. At the end of the script, you can just put that minus restart, and it will automatically restart as well, or you can just manually restart. So I have this end of the script here. If I type hyphen restart like this, right, I just put it myself, hyphen restart minus restart, and then just grab the whole thing now, and it's gonna restart automatically. It should. If not, then you have to do it yourself. So I'll just paste it here inside PowerShell. There you go. And so minus restart, I just added myself, and press enter. So the green bar appears here, and it shows you collecting data, start installation, 24%, etc., etc. Wow, kids. So, well, it's 24%. So, and that's one Exchange server, guys. So there will be second Exchange server later, and we will try to reach. And yeah, we cannot make a copy of an installed Exchange server. It doesn't work that way. Whew. So it's supposed to go faster, but when I'm just doing it myself, I don't know why it flies. It's that same environment. Okay, so there is I think it's gonna shoot up after some time. So this is the, what am I installing? So this is the prerequisite script, and this script will make configurational changes in Windows Server 2016 for the Exchange Server 2016. So it goes to different areas of the operating system. Otherwise, if we make those changes ourselves, so we have to install the web server feature, then open that web server feature, and then go to different areas of that and right click and enable disable things. So this script just automatically does all that in many of the areas. Some in the network card settings, it makes those changes. It also installs another feature, RSAT ADDS. So that really saves a lot of hundreds of clicks for us if we run this script. So many of the features in Windows 2016 it's making available now, or changing their values according to the requirements of Exchange Server 2016. It would without the script, it would take us at least 1.5 hours or 2 hours to just configure one by one by in graphical user interface or click. So this script is just doing that in a few minutes. Well, this is slow, and we haven't even installed Exchange 2016. That makes the systems really slow. Okay, so I'm done, but it did not restart, although I put that switch there for restart, minus restart maybe. Well, if it was wrong, it would have given me an error. So the script is done for me. So as soon as the script is done, guys, that's our screenshot number. Oh, what is that screenshot number? 4. Okay, so that's our screenshot number 4. So prerequisite script installed on server 2. So I'm just going to take a screenshot, quick one. Prereq script installed on. So take a screenshot number 4, guys. Take a screenshot number 4, guys. Take a screenshot number 4 here. So I don't have that. My computer restarted. Oh. So you can take a screenshot of the restart process. No. What you can do is, Yusuf, you can when you log in back, just open a PowerShell and paste this script without executing, and then take a screenshot. So, yep, cool. So screenshot number 4 is prereq script installed on server 2. So I've taken a screenshot. I am going to put it now here. So it's a screenshot for prereq script installed on server 02. So that would be okay. So screenshot 4 is prereq script installed on server 2, and I'll just paste it now, the screenshot, and yeah, I'll have to take that screenshot again for WhatsApp as well. Control C, and it's mail server screenshot equals the screenshot. I'll go back here and take the screenshot for WhatsApp as well. Okay. Well, I'm just gonna restart that. So I'll just go down here, right click, and restart this one. Right, server 2 only. I'm gonna restart now and continue. Okay, so mine is done, but doesn't show anything. No, it's not done, Jericho. Oh, okay. NVM. Got it. Oh, it's asking for this restart anyway, yeah. Okay. So so starting that, then we're gonna go for 2 smaller utilities, and then comes the big stage for Exchange Server 2016 installation. It's gonna install its 15 modules, and That's gonna be fun. So server 2 restarted, and I'm logging back in. Okay, so it's we've reached the halftime. If normally I'm not supposed to be asking if you need a break. College tells me to take a break. Alright guys, so we have done the script, so and we've taken 4 screenshots, so let's take a break and come back. So here, break, class starts 6/22. Okay, 6/22, we come back. And I hope I remember to resume. Okay guys, so if we go back to our diagram here, then we have installed .NET Framework 4.6. So .NET Framework 4.7.1, and then we installed PowerShell script as prereq. So Exchange prerequisite fulfilling script we installed here, and then we need to go for 2 more small utilities there on this, so we're gonna install those as well. Now what am I talking about? So I'll just go for the slide and try to check this out. There are 3 possible installations of Exchange 2016 that you can perform. Okay, Eric says, did you remember? And I will just double check. Yep, its numbers are moving, we're good. So so anyone reminding me, I will always check. Definitely, it's very important to check the recording. Okay, so here we talked about the mailbox server role in previous classes as well, edge transport server management tools. So that's going to come in the installation now as well. So when it comes, then we're going to talk about it again. We're about to install Exchange 2016. So if we go ahead with the slide, Exchange server system requirements, we're going to talk about this system requirements as we progress to the Exchange server installation. So right now we're on the prerequisite. So let's install prerequisite. We need to install a script. Yep, done. And we need to install this. Okay, so we need to install the UCMA utility here as well, and another utility. So plan and deploy prerequisites. If I just click this link as well, so this link, Exchange server prerequisites, talks about the Exchange 2016 prerequisites there, and what do you need to know before you begin. So it talks about what server underlying Windows 2012 2016 servers are supposed to be there for the application Exchange server. In the Exchange server 2016 prerequisites for preparing Active Directory, so it goes for actually .NET Framework 4.8 here. So they have updated document, but when you install Exchange server and you haven't installed 4.7, right now this cumulative update 11 that we're about to deploy, it asks for 4.7 version, 4.7.1 exactly. So well, if above 4.7 is good, and then it goes for the second installation, that is C++ redistributable package for Visual Studio 2012, and then it also asks about the UCMA. So first, if you go for 2016 mailbox server to on 2016, so we ran this whole script and that is also that's a very big one. And well, we know that we just ran it, right? So that's the first thing. Then .NET Framework 4.8 or 7, more than 7, above 7. That's the second thing. Third thing is this C++ redistributable, and I'm just trying to go down to, so it has different requirements. If it is Edge Transport Server, if it is Windows Server 2012, if it is Exchange 2016 on 2012, so how the scripts are, so that's why they are repeating right now. But we're just gonna go for the two scripts or the two tool utilities that I've uploaded there. Now there is that order in which we need to deploy those two utilities. The first one, next install the prereqs following in order. So and that is Unified Communications Managed API 4.0 core runtime 64-bit. Normally this is for all the meetings and conferences. They need a plugin for that, and this is if you have installed the separate link server, LYNC link server, or Sky for Business server that needs to communicate or connect with the Exchange server. So for that, this utility is used, and then this Visual C. Now, where is this small utility called Microsoft Unified Communications Managed API? So this is on week 5 in Blackboard. We can download it from there. If I just go to the Blackboard and then I am inside the week 5, right? So there's that trial version. Then there's prerequisite tool 1 for Exchange 2016, Microsoft Unified Communications Managed API, and then there is that Visual C++ distributable for Exchange 2016. So first we're going to download and copy that inside our server 2. These two are very small utilities, so I'm just going to download that and copy inside my server 2. Then I'm going to download this prerequisite tool. I said 1 here for both. This is, we can say 2, so I will just change that, add it, and this is okay. So prerequisite tool 1 and then prerequisite tool 2. We need to download first this one and deploy, install this one. Then we're going to download and copy this in server 2 and install this one as well. So I'm going to go for the first one here and click it in week 5 in Blackboard, and then download it. And download anyway. In downloads folder, UCMA runtime setup.exe, save. So it's downloading that. It's downloaded. I'll just open this folder, up arrow, and then show in folder. I'll drag it here. So this is the file UCMA runtime setup, and it's just 240 MB. Right click here, copy, and inside server 2 downloads folder, right click, and there you go. No paste here. So just okay. So I have that downloaded in my desktop already, and now I paste it inside. So that's the first one, UCMA. We're gonna run this, then I'll just download and paste the other one inside as well. So this is copying. So I'm gonna go for the other one, VC Redist. That's the other one, VCREDIST underscore x64. Copy that. That's normally used for reporting purposes when you're going for reporting of whatever was monitored or the log files. So UCMA runtime. So I've copied both small utilities inside the server 2, and I'm going to run first the UCMA and install it. Then I'm going to install the VC Redist, the C++ redistributable. So I'm just going to double click that UCMA and press yes. And next, I already accept the license terms. No, don't send me information. So just run and accept, install. So once Exchange server is installed, guys, so after that, when you're shutting down the machine, better to suspend the machines. Then when you start again before the next class, this machine will be really heavy because a big application called Exchange server will be installed here in server 2. When you start the machine, it's going to take a long time to start. Okay, I'll click finish. This is UCMA, Unified Communications Management API. So it is done. I'm going to click finish now. And double click this. So this is C++ 2013 redistributable. I agree to that. Install. Yes. Pretty straightforward. Oh, done. Okay. So that was fast. So guys, it will be now screenshot 5. Screenshot 5 is the 2 prereq tools installed in server 2. The 2 prereq tools installed in server 2. So take a screenshot of this, well, the whole screen, but the 2 tools should be showing here within server 2. So take a screenshot number 5. Take a screenshot number 5. The 2 prereq tools are installed in server 2. So if you have taken a screenshot of these 2 tools within server 2 placed here, then I'm going to take a sample screenshot now. Just have a couple of million pages open. Okay, so it's screenshot 5, 2 prereq tools installed on server 02, and the screenshot. So 2 prereq tools installed in server 2. I'll copy that and put it in WhatsApp as well. So it's mail server equals, okay, and then I'll take the screenshot again. So these are the 2 tools that you need to take a screenshot of, and they are showing inside server 2. I'll put the sample screenshot in WhatsApp as well. There we go. So back from this, this is the screenshot we need, and the title is already there in WhatsApp and Office 365. So this is the page where you need to take a screenshot. You want to go back from this to where? So that's a screenshot, and oh, cool. Okay guys, so I'm just gonna go ahead now and screenshot 5 done. Hopefully everyone took it with their name in the background. And I'm just gonna go ahead with the next steps. So if we check the slide, so these 2 steps are also done, and we're pretty much ready for the final installation of initializing the installation of Exchange Server 2016. And okay, so I have uploaded that slide where you can also see some of those screenshots there of installation in the slide which is uploaded there. Now we're ready for this. Proceed with installation. After you've prepared a Windows server with Exchange Server 2016 prerequisites, you can proceed with the installation of Exchange Server itself. Now we'll cover prepare an Active Directory for Exchange 2016 installation, which the Active Directory automatically gets prepared when you start the installation of Exchange Server 2016. So you don't have to manually do anything, but in what cases you have to, so we're going to talk about that too. Installing Exchange 2016 mailbox server role on a new server. So exactly that's what we're going to cover now. So I'm just gonna go to, so before you start, there are a few things to be aware of. Installing Exchange Server 2016. So installing Exchange Server 2016 requires an Active Directory schema update. We'll look at that in more detail shortly. Well, so yeah, maybe I'm the only professor who does this live editing. So yeah, it's not shortly, we're doing it now. So Active Directory schema. If you may have heard about schema before as well. So Active Directory schema is having all the classes and attributes of all the objects in the forest. So if you go for Active Directory schema, so it contains all the classes and attributes. It contains classes and attributes of all the objects in the forest, right? So that's a basic definition of schema. But what does it mean in English, right? So classes and attributes just means that, suppose you well, first of all objects there in Active Directory, objects example is objects. So I just came up with a new word. Objects. Seriously, what's wrong with my typing? Okay, example is user is an object, computer is an object, group is an object, right? Etc. So the activity schema has a scheme of things, or how an object will work in an Active Directory. So user will have a password. User has a password, right? User object has a feature called, or attribute called password, or you can reset password as well. User can log in as well. User has a lot of attributes in Active Directory. For example, department value, and when you go to Active Directory, double click a user, it has so much of the attributes showing there. If I go for server 1 here, and I'm actually inside Active Directory, so I'll just double click that, and you can see address, account, so much of attributes and classes there, profile, telephone, organization. So you have a lot of features, and what is the purpose of each of this? What is the purpose of account options? What is the purpose of unlock, login hours, log on to? So that is all defined in Active Directory schema. And Active Directory schema is one of the most sensitive application or sections of a forest. Obviously it has the scheme of things, how every object will work and behave in a network. So what it's basically saying here in the slide, that Exchange Server will introduce some more objects inside Active Directory schema. So if you are an administrator of a Microsoft environment and you hear that the company is purchasing another application, suppose it's a hospital and they're purchasing a hospital application, and the developers of that application say that, hey, we're going to be making changes in your schema. So then obviously you as an administrator will tell them, okay, can you give me the documentation? I need to read now exactly what changes in my Active Directory schema are you making. And those changes could also, if the code is written not very carefully, can make some irrecoverable changes in the schema as well. So aside from the schema update, installing Exchange 2016 makes other irreversible changes to your Active Directory forest. If you've never backed up your Active Directory, or you've never heard of forest recovery, here's some reading for you. If you're installing Exchange into the forest for the first time, you will be choosing an organization name. So what we need to understand from here is that it will make changes in the schema, and a very brief example would be that just like Active Directory has users, computers, object, so Exchange server introduces objects like mailbox. Now mailbox object was never there uh, without Exchange server, obviously. So this object, and then there is distribution list. That is actually your distribution groups. There's a security group and there's a distribution group, right? So Exchange server will introduce some new objects in your Active Directory schema as well. So that's what it's saying, and because it's a Microsoft application, so it's okay. You don't have to really be worried about, oh, it's going to change some of the objects, or it's going to make some changes in my schema for the forest. So because it's a Microsoft, both are Microsoft product, so that's why we don't need to worry about. But it's we should know that it's going to make some changes in our Active Directory schema. And then the rest is there. The Exchange organization can be renamed at a later date. So it's going to ask you to put the name of this Exchange installation, and it will ask it as an organization name. So we're about to install that, and we're going to see that it's going to ask for organization name there. So we're going to try to put that, and we're going to discuss all the screens that will be coming for the installation. And if we go ahead, installing Exchange Server 2016, we'll install Exchange Server once we have installed prerequisites done, and we'll discuss the deployment options. So let's go ahead and install the Exchange Server 2016 on Server 2. How do we do that? We need to attach the ISO of Exchange Server 2016 CU11, cumulative update 11, right? So okay, so there's a message there. Oh wow, man, it's your lucky day. You're getting BSOD again, blue screen of death. Take a screenshot of that, Jericho. Take a screenshot of that, and that would be the reason, right? So take a screenshot of that. Your machine is not working. Well, yeah, also the other thing, if it's getting you blue screen again and again, then reinstallation is the... No, that screenshot, Jericho, you need to just upload in the document. Yeah, just upload it on the document and give the reason there, right? So I need document uploaded there from everyone, so I could go through that. If you have some errors, so please take a screenshot of those errors or blackouts and put it there and give a reason, right? So administration normally sometime randomly asks me. So attach ISO, we're going to attach that. So obviously, where is that Exchange Server 2016? At the start of the class, I mentioned that all the software is there in Blackboard as well, and I'm going to show you where it is, but hopefully you have downloaded it already, or you can download from here in... So there's a Week5 obviously, and the second link is Exchange Server 2016 cumulative update 11 trial download link. So this is the link from which I hope you have downloaded already. If I click that from the Blackboard, it just gives you that download link directly from the Google Drive, and otherwise, yeah, we can download directly from the Microsoft site as well, but this is not everyone is downloading that, so those who are downloading will be able to download that, or hopefully you have already downloaded it. If not, then if you're going ahead, because we have one last hour left now, so then you can just wait for the video and just follow that and upload at that time. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and go to my remote machine there, cancel. So that I was on server 1. I'm gonna go to server 2. I need to attach the ISO of Exchange Server 2016 now to the virtual DVD of server 2. So I'm gonna go right click here to the server 2. I'm gonna go way down to the settings, and then CD DVD here, and obviously I just need to search where's the ISO of Exchange Server 2016. Browse. Oh, there's the ISO inside ISO. So I have this Exchange Server x64 CU11 or Cumulative Update 11, and I'm going to double click that and attach it to the virtual DVD of server 2 and press OK. So it pops up, well, message pops up that there's the DVD's mount or ISO is mounted successfully. I'm going to go to this PC here, and you can see that it looks like this, Exchange Server 2016, and we're going to simply double click that inside server 2 and press yes. Okay, so it asks for check for updates. Connect to the internet and check for updates, it says here. So since we are already connected to internet, so we can just keep it selected and click. Okay, so John says, can you go back? Okay, I'll close this, and I right clicked here on server 2. I went to settings and then went to DVD and browse to the Exchange server wherever you put the ISO. Select that, so it should look like this. Double click. That's it. Once you go OK, then go to this PC and simply, if it pops up, just click that, or just go to this PC and the DVD and double click that. And I'll double click that. Oh, oh, did I double click? Okay, yes. And then it asks for that I need to connect to internet and check for updates. It's not going to find anything, so I'm just going to click next now without changing anything on this page. Downloading updates, no updates found. Click next to continue with setup. So it will not find anything, and click next. So now it's going for copying files. Setup needs to copy files that are required to install Exchange Server. Okay. Okay, so copying files. To copy files that are required to install Exchange Server. Okay, so initializing setup. Setup is preparing the necessary resources before it can continue to the next step. Okay, so it's now initializing, and now that's the first screen and introduction showing here. Okay, so Exchange Server is designed to help you increase user productivity, keep your data safe, and provide you with the control you need. You can tailor your solution to your unique needs with flexible deployment options, including hybrid deployments that enable you to take advantage of both on-premises and online solutions. So you can use compliance management features to protect against the loss of sensitive information and help with internal and regulatory compliance efforts. So that's the introduction to Exchange. And of course, your users will be able to access their email, calendar, voicemail on virtually any device from any location. So, okay, let's click next on the introduction. And the second thing is license agreement. So let's click I accept terms and click next. It's just next. Did you connect for updates? Yes, Dylan, I connected to updates. So the default option is okay and click next. And recommended settings is, well, obviously, Exchange Server will automatically check online for solutions when encountering errors and provide usage feedback to Microsoft to help improve future Exchange features. So yeah, your Exchange Server could, whenever you get an error, there will be in the background some information about that error will be sent to to Microsoft as well, so they could also test that and check it out that why this error came. So well, yeah, overall we're just participating in that program. Uh, so we're gonna keep it use recommended settings and click next. So no changes here, pretty much on all the pages, other than this one. When you reach the server role section selection there, so we may have discussed that before, that Exchange 2016 has now only one role there, and we had a discussion on role a few classes back. So right now we need to select that, hey, do you want to install mailbox role? We're going to select that. Obviously management tools should be installed with it automatically. What we're not going to select together, and we can't actually, either you install mailbox server or you install the edge transport server, and then we're going to select this option. That will automatically select this option as well, management tools, and it will select, then we will select this option as well, that automatically install Windows Server roles and features that are required to install Exchange Server. So it's not going to stop if some feature, the file for the feature is not available. And in our case, so we have one domain controller, we have one Exchange Server here. So that Exchange Server, so this is DC and this is mailbox server role, MS we can say, mailbox role, right? So this is these two can be there. You can have another Exchange Server and that can also have a mailbox server role, right? But if you want to install an edge transport server, so you have to go for DMZ there, and in the DMZ you have to install, there's one firewall here, right? So firewall to protect internal traffic, and one firewall outside to protect from outside attacks. So firewall there and here, and in the middle you install another Exchange Server, and normally that is the edge transport server. And when the emails arrive, they go through first firewall, then they arrive in the edge transport server, and then they go to the second firewall, then they arrive in the mailbox server role, where there are databases inside the mailbox server role. So then the email arrives to the correct database and then correct mailbox of the user. So that's why it's edge transport is always on the perimeter network, and it's not installed together with mailbox server role within the environment, and it is separately deployed. So that said, I'll just copy this whole discussion to okay, so I'll just move ahead, and what we're going to select here is mailbox role. So we're going to select that and automatically install Windows Server roles and features that are required to install Exchange Server. So that will be our screenshot number 6 now, guys. This will be our screenshot number 6, and in screenshot number 6 you're seeing that what roles we have selected. This is an easy one. Obviously you're not going to go for edge transport when we don't have a mailbox first. So let's take a screenshot number 6, mailbox role selected. Screenshot number 6, mailbox role selected is the name. Screenshot number 6, mailbox role selected. I'll just take a sample screenshot now, and hopefully you have taken that screenshot. So I'll go for screenshot 6 equals mailbox role selected, and screenshot 6 mailbox role selected. Oh. You kidding me? Okay. Okay, so I'll just quickly put it there as well. Mail server. And the screenshot for WhatsApp as well. Okay, let's go ahead. So sample screenshot has been added there, and oh, so then says, can you go back a page? If I go back here, this is how it looks like, doesn't? Is that the one you're saying, or if I go further back, it's license agreement, right? Next, and oh, you know what? I hope it doesn't start again. Oh, okay. Sometimes when I go back and come back, it loads screen for very long, but that page is still upcoming. Alright, guys. So if you have gone for mailbox only, and make sure you selected this automatically install Windows Server as well. So click next. So guys, be careful here, remember that we installed the E drive as a RAID 1 volume that is highly available. So I'm gonna go down here and check that drive first of all. So I have those who are following do have an E drive here where the application files need to be installed, right? So I'm just gonna click browse here. What we need to do is we don't need to change the folder structure. Can we change here first of all? Obviously we cannot. So we don't need to change the folder structure. We just need to change the drive letter from C to E, right? So I'm just gonna click browse here, and that is not like SQL Server. So obviously this means that if we go to this PC, I'm just gonna expand to this PC. Then I'm going for the application. Obviously here, if I select application, don't select that application, don't press OK, because we need to put these files inside the folder here. Now they did not allow us the way we wanted to just simply change the drive. So this means that we can actually create our own folder here, which is called this program files. Now, in E, I see that file already. If I go inside C drive, so there's a folder already created there with the serious? Okay, anyway, so okay, so I check the ISO file, but I don't see it in DVD drive. Oh, you don't see? Hamid, okay, let me show you. See this? This connected box here. Check it and then you will see. The above box is not selected. So select that and you will see. Okay. Okay, so here guys, I'll just go ahead. Yeah, now this is the folder. This is the drive here, and we need to actually create our own folder, right? So if you select the application E here, there's a make new folder button here as well, and we can see that there's a program files here, then there's a Microsoft here, then there's an Exchange server here, and then V15 here. It's not compulsory to create all this, but we can actually do that too. So make new folder, I'm going to click that folder here, and it's program files. Well, there's a space there, so I'll just put that, and I'll select that now. Once you put the program files name there exactly like this, you select it, right? Once you select it, and if you click this folder again, it's going to create a new folder inside the selected folder, right? That folder is not there for me. Yusuf, oh well, Yusuf, it's that folder. If you're talking about this folder, we can ignore that. If you're talking about this folder, we just created it now. So yeah, the other folder, if it's not there, that's okay. Program files is selected. I'm just gonna click make new folder. Program files, I'm just gonna click make new folder. Then I'm just gonna type Microsoft, right? I'm gonna go ahead after typing. See this Microsoft is written here, so I'll type exactly like that. Microsoft here. It's not case sensitive. We don't exactly have to do that. You can just put program files and it's just okay. But normally this is professionally Exchange server is installed if it is given another drive path here. So that's Microsoft here, and then if I select the Microsoft, it's gonna, when you click the new folder, it's gonna create a new folder here when you click this button, right? So if I click that, it creates that. Exchange server is written there, EXCHANGE, and then there's a space, Exchange server. Okay, select, and then V15. So if you select that and you click this button, it's going to create a folder under this. So V15, version 15. So this is the version 15 Exchange. We don't, again and again, I'm just saying that, just trying to keep the folder structure intact. Files capitalize? No. Well, okay. Yes, you're right. As I was saying that it's not case sensitive. But if there's a mistake that happened, so it is okay. We don't have to really. It's not case sensitive at all. If I go down, since you've mentioned that and pointed it out, so I'll just click that, and does it let me open? Because I'm opened in that file, so I'll put that big one here. Nope. Because there's some editing going on. Continue. Oh yeah, it let me do that. So thank you for pointing that out. Okay. V15 is selected here. I'm going to keep that V15 selected because I need to show this path now. I need to see this path here showing now. So I'll keep it to V15 and press OK. So now it exactly looks like that, but it's not in C drive now. It's in our, that highly available RAID 1 volume. Okay, so drive changed, and let's go ahead. Well, you know what? This is, we have to do some effort. So let's quickly go for screenshot 7. And screenshot 7 is path. So the drive changed to E, to RAID 1. So drive changed to RAID 1, sorry. Drive changed. So take a screenshot here, take a screenshot here, take a screenshot here. And just title is that drive changed to RAID 1 E drive. Drive changed to RAID 1 E drive. If you haven't written E, then it's okay, grade 1. Otherwise, drive change to grade 1 E drive. Take a screenshot here, take a screenshot. Okay. Oh, are you kidding me? Let me take a screenshot here. Okay. Screenshot 7. I'll take that. Drive changed to RAID 1 E drive. Drive changed to RAID 1 E drive. And I'll take a screenshot here. I'll have to grab that from WhatsApp to put it here as well. Yep. Okay, that's good. So now I have the screenshot 6 here as well, and 7. Let's quickly put it on. Mail server. And I'll take that screenshot again. Hopefully everyone got it. Okay, so that's it. Let's go ahead next. You know what? I never had to do this before. What I just did now. Never had to do that before. Okay, next. So now guys, it's asking on the next screen, first organization. So what is organization? So just like if you install a Citrix farm, normally it is called Citrix farm or a collection of Citrix servers. Here it is called Exchange organization. If you intend to install second Exchange server, third Exchange server, fourth Exchange server, so they will all add to this organization. So organization here would be either one Exchange server based organization of Exchange or multiple Exchange server under the umbrella, under this umbrella, or under this organization. So a grouping of multiple Exchange servers or just one Exchange server is also called just organization. So here, first organization dash your first name, right? You can go for first organization dash your first name. Now, what is the purpose of this? Apply Active Directory split permissions security model to the Exchange organization. So the purpose here is that if we want to suppose in a big company, large company, normally what happens is that Active Directory, there's a separate team for just Active Directory experts, right? They are SMEs or subject matter experts of just Active Directory. And then there are experts who are SMEs in Exchange Server, right? They are they're experts in Exchange Server. So what happens is that now you would not, since you have the top experts for Active Directory separately hired and Exchange Server experts separately hired, you would not want that Exchange Server admins would come to Active Directory and start making changes there. And also, you would not want Active Directory experts to go to the Exchange Server settings and start making changes there. So split model just means that apply Active Directory split permission security model to the Exchange organization means that if you have top permissions, top privileges in Active Directory, you will not be able to make changes in Exchange application. And if you have top permissions for Exchange Server, you will not be able to make changes in Active Directory. So that is, if you have a big company where experts for Active Directory are separately hired and Exchange Server separately hired, so then you select this checkbox in that case. If you want those two guys to not mess with each other's configurations, and that's why in big organizations you will see this selected. In our case, obviously, we're handling the Active Directory and we are handling the Exchange Server as well. Normally, who knows Exchange must have known Active Directory first in depth, then would have gone for Exchange Server. So small to medium-sized organizations, we don't click that. But if you've hired separate SMEs or subject matter experts for these, then you click that. So in our case, we're not gonna click this. It's the same administrator handling both the products of Microsoft here. So we're not gonna select this, but you should just type the name here, dash your first name, and click next. So it says that malware protection, obviously this is the biggest threat, one of the biggest threats now, and especially the ransomware there. So that's why they're saying that do you want to disable malware scanning, and it says no, which means that keep the malware scanning on and don't disable the malware scanning. So this is okay. The default setting is okay. We want the malware scanning to happen. Okay, so let's click next without changing anything on this page. Readiness check. Okay, that's where it spews up errors, or it says that, hey, you still did not do this, you still did not do that, go back and do this and go back and do that. That's where it checks that, does that. And ooh, okay, hopefully everyone got this, or maybe the last two. Last two are just harmless. I'm going to explain what they are. But I had a pending reboot. Oh, okay, good. If you got the same error, you're good. There is nothing critical that was missed, so that's good news. And a reboot was required. Okay, we can do that. Others, you don't have to worry about. But I'm gonna, since we have to reboot and come back to exactly the screen again now, so this error should be gone then. So let's reboot our server 2, come back here, start the Exchange server installation, reach this page again where we're expecting that our reboot, this line will be gone, and only these two warnings will be there, which are harmless. So well, we have to reboot. So I'm just gonna right click here and restart. Whether you close and restart or just restart, it will close it for us. So just restart server 2 now if you got this, and continue. If you didn't get this, then don't go ahead. Okay. Whoa, 716. Man, we need to start and finish it. Okay, it's kind of restarted. Okay, so I have one more error. It says the computer requires the update described in Microsoft Knowledge Base article. Windows Update Exchange 2016 will not work reliably on Windows 2016. Okay, did you run the script that we ran? And because we ran one big script and two tools there, and the .NET Framework 4.7.1. Without all those. So, okay, can you show the screenshot? Or so this knowledge base, if I click that knowledge base that I was showing, improvements and fixes, why would you get it and known issues in this update? Cumulative update for Windows 10. How do you get this update? Closing stack version Windows 10. Well, yeah, it needs to be downloaded and installed. But if all the screenshots, hopefully your version of Windows is the same as mine, and your version of Exchange is same as mine as well. So 2016 OS build. So this is for the operating system. Well, yeah, so cumulative update for Windows 10. This update contains an issue that affects virtualization-based security. So I'll click that, and where is the download link? You basically need to download and install it, obviously. If I go down, this update replaces previously released update. Or otherwise you can update the whole machine if this one does not. Oh, this is not they did not give the download link. So, and Yusuf, you got the same exact what Hamid is showing? this. Yeah, you're seeing the same document requires this update. So yeah, we need to deploy that, and without this update, so once you click this article, go ahead and click that, and the download for this update, you need to download and copy that inside your OS. So well, I think that was the page where it took us. So this update fixes this. How to get this update? To get this standalone package, for this, go to Microsoft Update Solution. So I think, yeah, they're not giving a separate link for that. So they're just saying that install or enable the Microsoft operating system updates. Other than that, it's not letting us download that. Right on this page, there's no download button for that. So guys, Hamid and Yusuf, what you can do is see this. Well, that's a longer procedure now. This means that you can wait for the video and finish the rest of the installation. And let me just show in the video how the installation was done, so everyone can follow, those who were not able to follow. But what you can do is you can go to Server Manager, and obviously the internet is there, and there's a photo there. Yep, I think I should install Windows Update. Yep, the Windows Update has a bunch of stuff to be updated. Oh, okay. So are these okay? So there's another picture, guys, from Cedric as well. So you might also get some of those. A reboot from previous installation is required. Okay, you need to reboot Cedric first of all. Second thing is you must be a member of the organization. Wow, Cedric, you need to really follow the video because there's a lot of stuff that is not done. First of all, make sure you're logged in from your first name admin or domain administrator account, and make sure that was correctly copied from domain administrator account. So the you should not log in from local administrator, you should log in from domain administrator. Cedric. Second thing is you need to follow the video step by step, because that's a long list of things that are missing, which means you did not follow exactly all the steps as I did. So that's a lot, right? So wait for the video and exactly follow every step. Exchange server is very sensitive application. It does not find one small thing, it's not gonna install, right? But that's too much. That's a lot. So please wait for the video and follow each and every step. Okay, I'm back here. Those who got the error for that last error that you were showing, Hamid, you can go to local server here, this one, local server, and then there is a Windows update here, and download updates only using Windows Update. So you have to click that, and once you click that, then you have to just click the install now and wait for it. Whenever it is finished, by that time hopefully the video is also uploaded. You can just click next, and you'll be done. You're pretty much just missing one feature, so this Windows Update will install all your that missing feature, right? Okay. Okay, so I'm just logged in back here, so let's start that again. I'm just going to go to the File Explorer, this PC. Let's initiate that installation again to see if that reboot error is also gone. So I'm just going to double click that. We know the drill already, but we're really running out of time now, although it's a very big installation. Connect to the internet and check for updates. Yes, and click next. Oh, you're recording. That's very good. Very good. Okay, Paul says, do we apply the Active Directory split? No, we don't. We leave it unchecked. The split permissions, we leave it unchecked. Okay. And downloading updates. As it's in production environment, when I was in Scotiabank, there we were deploying Exchange servers on many physical servers there. So that was a big documentation, security hardening. And next, still copying files here. Okay, Paul shows a picture here. Yes, Paul, you're good. I'm actually reaching there. So about this, so guys, while I'm trying to reach there, um, this two warnings are that setup will prepare the organization for Exchange 2016 by using setup/prepare AD. No Exchange 2013 roles have been detected in this topology. After this operation, you will not be able to install any Exchange Server 2013. Obviously, we're not going to install 2013. We're installing 2016. So it's the same thing it's saying for 2010 Exchange. So older Exchange servers we will not be able to install. So that's why I was saying that these warnings are just, harmless. So if you see that, then go ahead, and those who see this, go ahead and click install, because we have very less time left. So go ahead. If you see just these two warnings, they're harmless. We're not deploying 2013, so click install. And okay, okay, it's on introduction. I'm just gonna click next, 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 because we already talked about that. Next, next, use recommendations, next. I'm just going, so make sure you selected mailbox, make sure you selected automatically install Windows Server. If these two were selected, then you're okay, and click next. Well, yeah, screenshot of the first module, guys. Oh, seriously, do I have to give that path again? I'm saying seriously about that path. Program files. Okay, I'll just choose the, oh, no, I'm not going to choose the program file. I'm just going to choose the V15 here, right? In the E drive, I went for browse, and then I selected the V15 here, right? And then I'm pressing okay. I'm coming back here again, right? Next. First organization, I gave the name here, dash your first name without any space. I did not check this, and click next. And yes, I want the malware there, so default configuration is okay. Next. And then now it's going to check for prereqs. So Paul, if you have clicked the install button already and it's in the process of installing the first module or second module, we can take a screenshot of any one of those. Okay, there you go. So I also got just the warnings, and yes, we're not intending to install 2013 old Exchange Server or 2010 old Exchange Server, so these are just harmless. We can ignore these two warnings and click install. So screenshot will be of this page, step 1 of 15. Ouch. So take a screenshot, guys, of this step 1 or 2, wherever it is, step 1 of 15. Take a screenshot here, screenshot number 8, Exchange 2016, installation started. Screenshot number 8, Exchange Server 2016, installation started. So take a screenshot, so here, either it is on step 1 or step 2 or 3. Just take a screenshot here that Exchange Server 2016 installation started. I think that was, so I'll just take a screenshot now. And that's kind of a long journey. So screenshot 8, Exchange Server 2016, or just Exchange Server, installation started. Exchange Server 2016 installation started, and the screenshot. So okay, so I'm just gonna copy that there. Well, so mail server, screenshot it, and then I'll go back and take the screenshot again. Okay, so that was screenshot 8, and well, that is more than half an hour installation. So it's gonna be taking long time at several steps here. Okay, so while this installation is going on, if we go back to our slide here, I had opened there. Okay, so Exchange prerequisites we wanted to talk about. Well, that was actually already we talked about, but Exchange server system requirements. Now I wanted to get all the practical steps done, and then we could just revisit this system server requirements, and I'll keep an eye on this one as well. I'm on step 3 now. I was just thinking that one of the steps it takes forever, and then it goes out from that, and then it's just done. I think it's step 9 where it just keeps on adding. Okay, so while this is going on, so some of the requirements that will come in your midterm as well, obviously. And the link is provided here in your portal. Oh, wow. Okay, so I'm on step 3 still. Okay, as we were talking about this, so guys, there will be a last screenshot there, and that is of when it is finished, obviously, or if we're at 8 o'clock, then obviously those who are installing that, you can just keep installing. I have to keep the video running, and at 8 we will just finish the class, while you will then see the rest in the video. Rest is that wherever it stops and installation is successful, I'm going to keep this screen frozen there for the next class, right? So while this is going on, yep. Okay, so Cedric shows an error here. Your work session. So that's the machine server 1. Ouch. Where did you put it? In C drive and internal remove. Remove only comes, Cedric, when in VMware Workstation we have suppose you moved the folder somewhere. Suppose that virtual machine was in this path, and if you have moved it to some other location, or you have deleted it directly in the folder, then only this option comes. Either you have moved it away to another location in the drive, or you have deleted that directly here. So when you click here, then it just tells you remove. So any one of the two options. So you can try to check where is that machine in your laptop or desktop, right? You can check and search for this exact machine name in your desktop or laptop in the C drive. Try to search that. Alright guys, so here we were talking about here. So it's Exchange Server 2016 supported coexistence scenarios for Exchange 2016. So what is coexistence? So it's Exchange Server 2016 with older versions of Exchange with. So Exchange 2016 cannot be installed if you have a Exchange 2007 and earlier versions. Then you cannot add Exchange 2016 if you have that old Exchange server. So Exchange 2010, if you already have that, if your company already have that, support it with update rollup 11 for Exchange 2010 Service Pack 3 or later on Exchange 2010 servers in the organization. So your Exchange 2016 can survive with an Exchange 2010 if it is having Service Pack 3 update rollup 11 installed. Then you can install Exchange Server 2016 in that organization. With Exchange 2013, supported with Exchange 2013 cumulative update 10. So if the older Exchange 2013 has CU10, then you can install Exchange 2016 as a coexisting Exchange server. So mix Exchange 2010 and 2013 supported with the following minimum versions of Exchange. So the thing is, if you have Exchange 2010 in your environment plus Exchange 2013 as well, and now you want to add Exchange 2016 as well, so then you must have the latest versions, or at least Service Pack 3 for Exchange 2010, cumulative update 11, and then for Exchange 2013, cumulative update 10. If those are there, you can coexist. Supported hybrid deployment scenarios for Exchange 2016. So 2016 supports hybrid deployments with Microsoft 365 or Office 365 organizations that have been upgraded to the latest version of Microsoft 365 or Office 365. The following table lists the requirements for the network and the directory servers in 2016 organization. So domain controllers, what domain controllers you can have with Exchange Server 2016. So it goes back to 2008 R2 data center RDM or later. So 2008 R2 domain controllers, if they are in the organization, up to 2012 R2, 2016, 2019 standard data center, if these are, then Exchange 2016 can be installed in that environment. Active Directory forest functional level should be 2008 R2 or higher, but not less than that. Active Directory sites, well, it gets automatically created. The Active Directory site where you install the Exchange server must contain at least one writable domain controller. So you may have heard about read-only domain controllers. So at least one read and write domain controller should be there in your branch where you want to install Exchange server. Okay, other than that, DNS namespace. So Exchange Server 2016 supports the following DNS namespaces: contiguous, non-contiguous, single label domains, disjoint. So these are the ways we can deploy the DNS and domains as well, single name as well as multiple domains or child domains or tree domains as well within a forest. So it supports all those types. IPv6 in Exchange 2016, IPv6 is supported only when IPv4 is also installed and enabled. If Exchange 2016 is deployed in this configuration and the network supports IPv4 and v6, all Exchange servers can send data to and receive. So obviously you need to have, you cannot have IPv6 only environment for Exchange 2016 if IPv4 is enabled and still you want to use IPv6. So just keep the v4 enabled and then use IPv6. When it comes to directory server architecture for 2016, so on the domain controllers, it's not really supported, but technically, yes, you can still install Exchange server on a domain controller. If it's a very small company and they say, hey, we don't have another machine, so okay, in that case. I'm on still step 3. You're kidding me. Okay. So, okay, so hardware requirements for Exchange 2016 processor has to be 64-bit, obviously, and it can be installed on AMD as well, and AMD 64 platform. So Intel 64-bit architecture. Intel Itanium IA64 processors are not supported. Okay, that's the type of processors that it does not support. Memory varies from Exchange server role. Mailbox role requires minimum 8 GB RAM. We gave 8 GB till just now, right? And it was the mailbox server role that we installed. Well, we had no other role to install. I mean, like other than Edge Transport, but the main thing is the mailbox server role, and it's 8 GB minimum. It's saying. Hopefully, anyone of us may have not given less than 8 GB, but if you have, maybe the installation will still go on. Edge Transport needs minimum of 4 GB RAM. Okay, so it's just it's like a security guard for Exchange server, Edge Transport server. Paging file. So paging file is that you use some of the hard disk space as RAM, right? So set the paging file minimum and maximum value to the same size. So less than 32 GB of RAM installed, physical RAM plus 10 MB up to a maximum value of 32 GB. So 32 GB of RAM or more installed. So the main thing here is they're saying set the page file minimum and maximum value to the same size. So whatever is the RAM, you can just put the paging file as the same size as well if you want. Otherwise, let the Windows manage that paging file. Disk space 30 GB at least, and we gave 200 GB, so that's good. And plus an additional 500 MB for each unified messaging language pack. That unified messaging is used for meetings and conferences. We use Link or Sky for Business now. But still, in the old days, we were using unified messaging for meetings and conferences. But this is just the language pack. They're saying that when you install a language pack to support different languages for meetings and conferences, so in that case, you need 500 MB extra. At least 200 MB of free space on the system drive, minimum 500 MB of free space on the drive that contains the message queue database. So we're going to talk about this message queue database as well, but when your messages are queued, they are queued in a database, so for that you need 500 MB extra. Obviously nowadays the storage has gone really up, so no problem with that. And screen resolution, it supports Exchange 2016 1024 by 768 pixels. File format is obviously NTFS or REFS. Resilient file system or NTFS. So when we install Exchange server, we're gonna play with databases as well. We're gonna try to do some labs on the Exchange server databases. So in that case, we're going to talk about then what are transaction logs, and then content indexing files and mailbox databases. So if we go further down here, supported operating systems for Exchange 2016. So obviously that's we don't support the installation of Exchange 2016 on a computer that's running Windows Server Core or Nano Server, and Windows Server Desktop Experience feature needs to be installed. Okay, so Exchange 2016 cannot be installed on a command line interface based server or server core. You need to do one of the following to install the desktop experience on a Windows server prior to starting Exchange 2016. So for Windows 2012, you need to run the following command to make it ready for Exchange 2016. But that's an older operating system, obviously, so better install all the updates there in Windows 2012 R2. And obviously, you need to run some specific commandlets here as well. Windows Server 2016. So install Windows 2016 and choose the desktop experience installation option. If a computer is running 2016 core mode and you want to install 2016 on it, Exchange 2016, you will need to reinstall. So if you had installed server core, just format it and reinstall the desktop experience or the graphical user interface GUI. And the component mailbox and Edge transport server roles, you can have it on 2016 standard or data center, Windows Server 2016 standard or data center, Windows Server 2012 R2, 2012 standard data center, so R2 standard or data center, and non-R2 standard or data center as well. Management tools you can even install on Windows 10. So these management tools you can remotely install on Windows 10, and suppose you get a job of Exchange server, then you will just install it on separate machines. So in production environments, we have install management tools on Windows 10 to remotely connect to our Exchange server, right? Okay, so if I check it out, hey, we have not progressed. It's still step 3. Okay, guys, so yeah, what we can do is we're really near to our completion. So obviously it's going to take a long time. So what we can do is 8 screenshots would be the maximum, and you can go ahead and upload those screenshots. Those who are installing this, if it's not finished, just keep an eye on that and come and go from. Just take your laptop with you whichever other room you're going, and make sure before the next class the whole Exchange server is installed. I will keep the video running while the Exchange server is just running, and maybe I'll pause, and wherever it stops, wherever it finishes, I'll just resume the video and show you that, okay, that's the finish line. So you need to, those who are following need to install Exchange, and the last screenshot look like this, right? So it's still on step 3, which the screenshot we already took. So if you are, yeah, it's going to take a long time. So okay, guys, you can upload the screenshots. So collect your screenshots in the Word document, and then go ahead and upload it. The upload link is there in week 5, right? And I'm gonna keep running that video until the Exchange server installation is finished, and then I'll show you the. So guys, those who are installing, if the Exchange server installation, whenever it is finished successfully, so you don't have to click the close button. Just keep the finish, wherever the finish page is, keep on that page, and you can actually right click power, and there's a suspend guest. What that does is it freezes your screen, whatever screen you were on, it freezes that screen, and then turns off the machine, right? So but if the installation is finished and you shut down, that's also okay. If the installation is finished and you suspend, that's better, because exactly that screen which was open you will see when you unsuspend the machine before the next class, right? So right now it's just going and going. It's going to take much longer time. So go ahead, upload the document on Blackboard in week 5 in the upload link, and see you in next class on Thursday. If there are any questions, let me know. Otherwise, go ahead and upload, and bye-bye. All right, thank you.
Sure, sorry, quick question.
Yep.
You told me to I have the same error with Cedric. The a lot of errors like should be. Wait, I took a screenshot of it.
Yeah. So that is all the script has to be properly run. Otherwise, this error comes when the prerequisites were not done.
Yeah, I got the you must be a member of organization management.
Yep.
Yeah, so I need to be logged in with the administrator, right?
No, did you create a Jericho admin account?
Yeah, I did the Jericho admin. Yes. Yes, I did log in from that.
Oh, then.
But I don't know why I got still
Sometimes it
there.
happens. So you know that if you want to log in from second machine from domain administrator, so what do you have to do? You have to, when you're in the login screen, so sign out from server 2 and sign in again. But in the username, just put the domain name first, / administrator.
Okay, so I'll try that. Okay, so I'll try that right now.
Administrator, the spellings would be ADMINISTRATOR. So it's the actual administrator account.
Backslash administrator.
Backslash administrator from server 2. If you log in with that, then at least that particular error that will not come about the organization.
Oh, okay, I'll try that right now. Thank you.
And guys, if anyone has any errors or warnings or issues, you can also put it on this WhatsApp group. So whenever I get time, I'll tell you what to do. Alright, thank you. And if the installation is still going on, just keep it there. I'll just disconnect from the meeting. If there are any questions, let me know. Otherwise, upload the file and bye-bye and see you next class. If you have any other errors or issues or questions, you can put it on WhatsApp here or email me. So I'm just gonna now end the meeting here, and I'll keep the recording on for the installation, so you will see the whole installation. Or I'll pause this, and whenever it's done, I'll record it, and finally by tonight you will get it. Yusuf says finally Windows update is done. Wow, okay. Now you're ready. Woo. Okay. So, okay guys, so if there are questions, let me know. Otherwise, bye bye. See you next class. I'll end the meeting now. Okay, so ending the meeting in 5, 4, 3. Okay, so there is a message shown by Cedric. Cedric, did you remove the... Oh, Cedric is there? Oh yeah, he's there. Did you remove the... Well, yeah, server 1 seems like corrupt. If it's not starting while you have all the files, you can just close the VM workstation, restart the whole machine, and then come back and try to turn it on again. Hopefully you're listening to this. Okay. Okay guys, so I'll end the meeting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.